right here with another Where Are You Dipper reading. I'm really excited for this. This is chapter 13 out of 15, so I'm almost done with this. So, yeah. Let's get this started. We ended about where Mabel said that she will pull Dipper's plugs. So she finally made her choice. And I already pre-read the chapter, not the whole thing, but a little part of it. And I was crying. So, yeah, okay. Let's get started. So this is POV. Remember, Seuss, Wendy, Stan, then Mabel. That's how it goes. Seuss is POV. I walked into the room. I had only seen Dipper once since he's been in the hospital. Even then, my tears had blurred my eyesight. But this time, I sucked in my tears. I actually looked at the little dude. It only lasted 10 seconds after the tears came back. Oh, dude, I cried. You're so young. You still have so much to live for. I don't want you to leave me. You and Mabel are my only friends. Well, other than Wendy, of course, but still. Who am I going to go on adventures now? Who am I going to go with on adventures now? Before you came here, I was just the handyman. No one ever paid attention to me, but then you and your sister came. Wendy and I talk more. Stan and I bond. I don't want that taken away. My time is almost up, dude. I have to go, but I really wish you didn't. I concluded with tears in my eyes. I ruffled his hair. Goodbye, Dipper. I'm really, really, really going to miss you, I said before I turned around and walked out. As soon as I walked out, Wendy stood up and I sat down in her place. She took a deep breath and walked in. Wendy's POV. I took a deep breath, preparing myself for what I was going to see next. I walked in, closing the door behind me. I looked at how
Threat has been detected.
I looked how beat up he was and started to cry harder. I walked up to him and grabbed his hand. Look, Dipper. The doctor said you can hear us. And I don't know how much of that is true. But if you can hear me, I just want to say that I'm really going to miss you. Oh, and I know that you like me. A little text message told me, I said, laughing a little. It was quiet for a while. I just stared at him. I hope you know that you can't die, I said. You have a sister. You're like the only one she has left. You can't leave her. She loves you to death. And I know that she doesn't really show it, but if you look close enough, you can see it. Each time she shoves you, she's mentally hugging you. Each time she calls you a name, she's secretly saying that even though you're all these different things, that she still loves you. Each time she gives you a nun-crushing hug, she's repaying you for all the times she's hurt or called you a name. And each time she's in trouble, she calls out for you to help her, and she knows you'll come because you two can't live without each other. Even after you save her, she says thank you. And in all the thank yous, there's a secret I love you. So you see, she can't live without you. That's why you need to pull through this and wake up. Looked at the clock and sighed. My time's about up. Please don't give up, Dipper. I kissed him on the cheek and left the room. I slowly closed the door. I turned to face it. That was our last conversation. Wow, was it really necessary to close the door? Stan said as he stood up.
You are currently alone.
I turned to face him. I
Please
was just
wait.
kidding.
Thank
Go
you.
sit down. Sit down, kid. Sorry, guys, that was nothing. Go sit down, kid, he said with a smile. I smiled a little and sat down. He smiled at all of us, then walked into the room. Stan's POV. I smiled at all of them, then walked into Dipper's hospital room. My fake smile instantly faded. I walked over to his bedside and sighed. Well, you've really done it this time, haven't you, kid? I said, laughing a little. And this whole time, I thought I'd be that love of mystery that you have that you'd get hurt. Who knew it'd be a psychotic 9-year-old? I asked while looking at him. I looked off into distance. I just imagined what he would say. Yeah, sure, Grunkle Stan. My eyes watered. You know, the doctors say you've been responding to some things, like by smiling or squeezing their hands. They said you can hear us. If you can, just know, no matter what, how much I hide it, deep down, I love you. I just want to try and toughen you up, but I guess I won't need to do that anymore, I said as tears started to fall out of my eyes. Mabel, she told me about your parents. I was actually a little happy at first, knowing you two would be staying with me. But I'm not sure if I want to be running a shack with 2 depressed employees. On top of that, I have a depressed girl, too. I'm not saying that I don't want to have Mabel. I really do want her around, but, you know that if it's just her, she wouldn't even be, well, Mabel. She'd be someone completely different without you. I looked down at my watch. Well, looks like my time's running out, so I have to go. I started to walk away. I looked back at him with tear-filled eyes. I love you, kid. Just remember that. I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner. It killed me to say it, but I knew that's what I should have spent more time with him. I swallowed up the lump in my throat and wiped my tears away. I knew I had to be strong for the rest of them. I opened the door and stepped out to see all 3 of them in the middle of a group hug. I walked over to them, tapped Mabel on the shoulder. They opened the hug, and she walked toward the room. I saw her start crying. I saw her start to sob as soon as she saw him. She slammed the door shut, and I looked away. Susan and Wendy were still crying. They started to hug each other, and I was about to sit down when I heard Wendy mumble my name. She looked up and saw that they had outstretched one of their arms. Tears started forming in my eyes again, so I walked up to them and wrapped my arms around them. Ready for Mabel. This is gonna be so sad. Mabel's POV. I sobbed as soon as I laid eyes on him. I slammed the door shut behind me and ran up to him. I ran to his bedside and threw my head on his chest and cried. After a minute, I remember I'd only had 5 minutes with him. I started to slow down my sobs and sat up. I grabbed his hand. I'm so sorry, Dipper. I'm doing this for your own good, I said as I started to cry. They're going to pull your plugs in a few minutes. And I really don't want to. But they keep saying that you're in pain, and I just didn't know what to do. What am I supposed to do? Am I doing the right thing? I asked him. I knew he wouldn't answer, but it was worth a shot. Please, just give me a sign. Tell me, am I doing the right thing? I stared at him. I didn't know what I expected from him. I knew he wasn't just going to open his eyes and tell me yes or no. But I just wanted something. I stopped. He did. I smiled. I squeezed my hands twice. So do you think I'm doing the right thing? He asked. He squeezed my hand again. I figured that my time was up, so I stood up and kissed him on the head. I'm going to miss you, Dipper. I love you. Never ever forget it. I love you. And I always will. I started to cry harder. I was walking away. I said, I'm going to hold on to your hat. You don't mind, do you? I turned around to see him. He smiled. I didn't think you would. I smiled through my tears. I walked out and saw Stan, Suze, and Wendy by the doctor. I'm guessing it's time, I asked, my smile instantly fading away. The doctor nodded, and I stepped out of the way for the door. He opened it up, and walked in. I trailed behind Suze, Stan, and Wendy. Since everything except for the heart monitor is hooked up, this 6-outlet surge protector, I'm going to just turn the surge protector off. Okay, guys? He said. We nodded our heads. Okay, in 5, I started sobbing. I really wanted to stop, but Dipper said that's what's best. 4, I saw Lisa and Sarah. I didn't even hear them come in. Lisa took Dipper's right hand, and Sarah took Dipper's left. 3, I just decided to ignore them. It seemed like everyone else was. 2, goodbye, Dipper. 1, and we heard the hot monitor go beep. He's officially gone. I looked up. I saw Lisa and Sarah wink at me. Then the unthinkable happened. Oh my God. Oh my God. He's dead. But wait, what is the unthinkable? Ooh, cliffhanger. Well, that's it for this episode. I don't know if he's gonna be dead. I don't know what's gonna happen. My God. Okay, bye you guys. Tell me about how sad that was to you guys. That was crazy. Oh my God. He's dead. Bye, you guys.